What even is consent anyway? Consent is our relationship to an action. It's asking, do I want this thing to happen? It's often used in a sexual context or a medical context or filling in forms for various things, but it actually applies to all our relationships in our life, including our relationship with ourselves. In sex ed, a common acronym used is FRIES for consent. FRIES is F, freely given. That means there's no force or manipulation used. It's reversible. I can change my mind. It's informed. I know what I'm saying yes to. It's enthusiastic. There's a whole body yes. And it's specific. Yes to one thing doesn't mean yes to everything. For consent to be present, everybody in the situation has to be consenting, all in. And consent is an ongoing process. So once you agree to something one time, it doesn't mean you've agreed to it for the rest of your life. Keep checking in. Consent is basically willingness. In NVC requests, we're seeking willingness. We're always seeking willingness from the other person. Because if we override the other person with our own demand energy, we might get the action that we wanted, but we will pay for it. There'll be an impact on the relationship. It can be really powerful to seek our own consent, making requests to ourselves, or learning that we have needs, that we can check in with ourselves and ask, actually, am I willing to do this thing? Is this what I want? What do I need in this situation? Where there's a structural power imbalance, consent becomes loaded or might not be possible. And even in parenting, where the adult has all the power, there are usually ways that we can move towards consent by modelling it and respecting bodily autonomy and choices. So for a toddler, that might mean giving them a choice of 2 options that we're happy with both of them. And for a teenager, it might be having conversations about what's important to them and what they're willing to do. My sister taught her daughter by the age of 2 consent, so effectively by always checking with her and modelling asking permission to touch other people's bodies and teaching her explicitly, oh, if you want to do that, you need to ask. When I went to visit them when my niece was 2, she was fascinated by my plaits. And when I picked her up, instead of grabbing them because they were within reach, she gazed at them and said to me, "Can I touch it?" And I said, "Yes, you can touch my hair." And then she ran her little fingers all over them. Imagine if all adults had that same level of consent in their relationships. Hey, is this okay with you? In MBC, when we share our needs with the other person, what need would be met for us by making our request. It's actually a really effective way to increase willingness. It doesn't mean 100% that the other person will do what we want, because that will be force. We can't make people do what we want. But it makes it more likely. NVC gives us tools to move towards a more consent-based life.